Hello there. Welcome back to episode number 13, lucky 13 of Winning the Division. I am your co-host Ryan Smith alongside former NFL tight end Ben Troupe, also an alumnus of the University of Florida who whipped that gator tail and
Say it.
this
Do not,
weekend.
do not mix your words. Say it. Say it. Say it.
Joe
Go deep.
Burrow was not walking through that door for the Florida Gators this weekend, and LSU took the L in Gainesville. That's what happened. They sent their tails back to Baton Rouge. This is not a college football podcast, but I know Ben, that's his alma
I'm
mater.
just saying, Brian Kelly had a lot to say, talking about make sure you know that Mr. Petty's song, "Don't Back Down." Won't back down. And he said, make sure you know it, because they're going to be singing it, but we're going to own them by the fourth quarter. There was some owning going on. It just wasn't. So Brian Kelly, whether you Brian Kelly from, I think he from Vermont or Massachusetts, he developed an accent when he first went to LSU. That didn't work. So listen, Jaden Daniels ain't running out of there. Joe Burrow ain't running out of there. So we will take the dub. But yes, let's move on to the regular schedule program. But Ryan, we will be remiss. There was some breaking news that happened in Charlotte. Please give the people the breaking news for those.
Yes, my alma mater, UNC Charlotte, young football program established in 2013, so only about 11 years old. Had about 4 head coaches in our history of our school, but our current head coach, Mr. Biff Poggi, just got released of his duties. Biff Poggi, one of the best names in college football. He was an assistant at Michigan under Jim Harbaugh. Before he left to be head coach at my alma mater, UNC Charlotte. So Biff Poggi relieved of his duties tonight at UNC Charlotte. So those are our 2 college football, our alma maters for you. Let's go with our regular schedule program then. Moving on into our regular schedule program here on this podcast. Let's start with before we get into NFL Week 11, as it was ending tonight with Monday Night Football between the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys. Before we get there, though, there was something we discussed last week, and I wanted to start the show with that because I feel like it deserves a little bit of attention, me being a Carolina Panthers fan. Cam Newton, Mr. Ace Boogie, he decides to post a video on his 4th and 1 YouTube show that is very successful, and he's doing quite well in the media world. For those who might be living under a rock lately, essentially, he said he had a 7-on-7 tournament earlier in Charlotte this year. And he went to Charlotte, went to Bank of America Stadium, and he went to tour the facility with his team. And one of the greatest players in Panthers franchise history, they're walking the tour, and they're just walking the halls. And his son, Cam Newton's 8-year-old son, Sebastian Chosen. Yes, that is his 8-year-old oldest son's name, Mr. Sebastian Chosen. He says, "Daddy, where is your photo?" He did not see a photo of his dad, Cam, on the walls of the Carolina Panthers facility. And so Cam goes on to talk about how he has some fences that he apparently needs to mend with the team and with the powers that be, and he didn't know that those fences needed mending. And he goes on to talk about how, guys like, as you know, Ben, we went to Germany a couple weeks back now. The Carolina Panthers got that win over the New York Giants. But Cam said, Luke Kuechly, John Beeson, Thomas Davis, Steve Smith, Julius Peppers, all these Panther legends that went to Germany, he wasn't invited. And he's like, I gave everything for this city, and it kind of hurt. And so anyway, so you watched the same video that I did, and a lot of people probably watched that same video. So talk to me about your reactions with this Cam Newton story that popped up late last week, and what as a former NFL player who's been in the league and has played not a quarterback, but on the offensive side of the football. What were your reactions to this? And
I was taken aback, but I was not surprised. But let me tell you what really stood out the most. Let me give Cam Newton respect and kudos for this. We talk so much about wanting players to be open and honest and sometimes vulnerable. And sometimes that's just hard for men to do that, not just athletes, right? Talk about an athlete as big time as Cam. It bothered Cam, and it should. Because, Smitty, it's one thing that he didn't go to Germany. They didn't even ask him to go. And there goes Steve Smith, there goes Luke Kuechly, there goes Thomas Davis.
Julius Peppers, Hall of Fame.
Julius Peppers, they didn't ask him to go. The two, number one, his son It's 8, but still understand. Wait a minute, Daddy, where are you? Right? Where are you? I don't know. Now, later on in the video, they said that a janitor or somebody worked that said, hey, man, you go up on the second or third floor. Why I got to go up? I should be somewhere around this building, easy to find. Then, when Cam Newton said, and I had a 7-on-7 tournament, they wouldn't even let me do it. It's like, he said I tried to do, Funky Fridays with Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis. He mentioned John Beeson. Julius Peppers, the greats. They kind of have Q&A. Nope, don't want to do it. Then the worst excuse I've ever heard was, maybe they're just waiting on you to retire. So Cam Newton asked his 2 co-hosts, y'all think I played my last down of football? Yeah. Y'all think I play? Yeah. He said, I'm never retiring. But he knows he's not going to play. What bothers me about the whole situation, Smitty, is, man, what Bridges? You want me to go in there and apologize? Hey, man, I'm sorry for saying things that you guys don't like. I'm in the media now. I know you guys are so sensitive when it comes to me that you want me to come. I wanted to pass the torch to Bryce Young. Quarterbacks don't do that, especially ones that moved on, because no one's going to understand Bryce Young's situation more than Cam Newton. No one knows it more than Cam. But, Smitty, let me tell you why you sent it to me. And this is the truth. It pissed you off. And it's supposed to. You looking at that going, wait, what? They didn't invite you? Listen, nothing against Steve Smith Sr., who I think is the second greatest. Julius Peppers might be third, right? Thomas Davis is in there. Luke Kuechly might be fourth, number 2. Cam Newton is the greatest. Cam Newton is the greatest Carolina Panther of all time. Period. That's taking nothing away from Jake DeLong. That's taking nothing away, from D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. Been some great ones come through there. D. Foster and all. It's been some great ones, right? None of them greater than Cam. None of them. You used to watch Now, did I watch the Carolina Panthers when they had Jake DeLong and Musa Muhammad, right, and Steve Smith? Yeah, when they went to the Super Bowl against the greatest. I'm not taking that away. But I'm watching the team, and this dude named Cam from Auburn come, and he was must-see TV. Remember when Carolina was getting, you had to count how many Monday night games they had a year? They had that many Monday night games. Anyway, I'm not even going to get into Cam's career. It is ridiculous because you got these fully grown billionaire owners, presidents, right? Leadership. Man, because he apologized for what? Because here's the thing, Smitty. I'm going to tell you what Cam ain't really trying to say. What if I do go apologize and they still don't do it? Then I've wasted. Now you're trying to make me look a certain way. It bothers me because you don't treat your greats like that. Guess what? Tom Brady played all those years in New England. When he came back, what they do? They welcomed him. They gave him a salute, right? That's what you're supposed. When Steve Smith, the same Steve Smith that says it's going to be blood and guts when they went to Baltimore. So I think it's more to it. And I don't think Cam still has enough love for the city, for that organization, that he won't even name names. He won't say who it is. He will say they want me to apologize. And so that's still the respect they're showing him. But it's different. If you telling me you're waiting on somebody to retire, so you want him to do the one-day contract so he coming in. Come on, man. Stop playing. Cam Newton is the reason why expectations in Charlotte with the Panthers are still there. That's a big reason why Bryce Young gets the scrutiny that he gets. They waiting for him to look like him, not be Cam, but have that Cam star power, that right. Cam charisma. So for me, I didn't like it because Cam had to tell his 8-year-old son, I don't know. Really?
Okay.
I mean, think about this. Yeah. I mean, let's just be honest. You think you can go to the Baltimore Ravens field and not see Ray Lewis? You think you're gonna go to San Francisco and not see Joe Montana, Steve Young, and Jerry Rice? You think you're gonna go to the Buffalo Bills and not see Jim Kelly? Just stop. And to me, this is why I don't like certain stuff. You don't respect your greatest. You don't. I ain't never seen Cam get invited back to hit the keep pounding our drum. Have you?
No.
I ain't never. So for me, it's some pettiness going on with that, but I do respect Cam for still keeping it professional, and that's what media has taught him. Hey man, let me watch what I say because my stuff could be viral, and they'll clip it. So that's gonna be another reason why. But they know they should have invited him to Germany. And when his co-host said, man, you You ever been to? He said, I ain't never been to Germany.
Right.
So you got the Carolina Panthers over there, and listen, no offense to Luke Kuechly, no offense to Thomas Davis, no offense to Hall of Fame Julius Peppers. If Cam Newton would have been walking around Germany, people would have went. That's Cam Newton. That's Cam Newton, right? Stop playing. It would. I ain't like it. And to me, Smitty, I'm happy. Yeah. When you send it to me, like, hey man, you need to see this. You seen this? I want to ask you this, Smitty. You asking me, what was your initial reaction when you first saw it?
I couldn't believe it. That was my initial reaction. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what's the reasoning for this? And part of me understands it, the whole retirement thing. But then again, I didn't play in the league like you did, so I don't understand it at the same time.
Who's gonna ask Cam to come back? Listen. Hold on for a second. When Cam Newton first went to the New England Patriots, you was counting down the days when they made him a starter. You knew he wasn't gonna ride the bench for long because he's Cam Newton. Nothing against whoever was in front of him, right? When Cam, they did the whole "I'm coming home" when he came back to Carolina, but Carolina was a full-blown mess at that point. Yeah. And nothing against Cam, organizations go through it. I can look as a born and raised Atlanta Falcons fan. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that to Matt Ryan. They wouldn't do that to Roddy White. They wouldn't do that to Julio Jones. You see what I'm saying? They wouldn't do that to Michael Bernard Turner. Now, would they do that to Michael Vick? Maybe. But Michael Vick, to me, is not the greatest quarterback to ever come to Atlanta. He's the best. The greatest is obviously Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan won the Super Bowl. I mean, MVP didn't win the Super Bowl. I don't want to throw that out there. But I'm saying it's like, I don't know, Smitty. It's the part of sport that I can't stand because it's that unwritten part. Like, I'm a billionaire. You're supposed to respect. Dude, I didn't even play for you. You wasn't even the owner when I was there. Mr. Richardson.
Well, and we all know he brought Cam Newton back. Mr. David Tepper brought him back. Thing,
right? So you bring him back. You bring him back, right?
Ticket sales were down. They needed some merchandise, some ticket sales to come up.
Listen, Cam, sir, I respect your professionalism. I respect the fact that you can say whatever you want and you still don't. That's the kind of look. Because I heard, Smitty, you have to tell me, I heard that the city was. I heard when Cam Newton was in Charlotte, the city was different. The whole city was different when he was there. And now come on, man, stop playing. Cam, keep doing what you're doing. And listen, y'all need to bring this man back. He should be plastered all over freaking Bank of America Stadium. And the fact that he's not is a go to the second or third floor. Really? Ain't nobody going to no second or third floor. If I'm at the stadium, why am I on the second or third floor? I want to go to the field. And people people saying, what Cam Newton at? And somebody goes, why would Cam Newton be here? Listen, rookie of the year, number 1 overall pick, MVP, took it to 15-1 record. Stop. 75 rushing touchdowns, the most rushing touchdowns. Yeah, I don't know why he should be here. You're right. Second, third floor, around the corner, by the bathrooms. Stop playing with me, man. Don't do. And mind you, this is coming from a person. I'm gonna be nowhere around the Tennessee Titans facility or the Bucks or the Raiders. You go back to the University of Florida. I'm in some of those pictures. Like I was in Steve Spurrier's last 2000. He won his last SEC championship in 2000. I'm on that picture. I didn't play in the game, but I made sure. And that's smart by me. I said, dang, they take these pictures, they frame them, they put them up. So I made sure I was in that picture. So you see me pointing to the SEC sign, and the only sweat I got on me was jumping up and down during the game. I sure ain't getting no burn, but I was on that team. And guess what? When I was there, one of the greatest moments of my athletic career, my little girl had something to do with my youngest, my little girl, Yaya. She's not a little girl anymore, but I'm there to speak to the team, and we go upstairs to see the head man, Jim McElwain, and she said, Daddy, look at you. They had me over there as a Gator grades when you talking about the tight ends, right? Now, mind you, I didn't even know I was up there. I'm up there to see the head man. I'm not looking at pictures up there. And to me, that's what it's about, man. Like, no one does it. I didn't play football to need no freaking legacy, but that did something to me. I mean, my daughter's looking at her dad. Dad, there's you. It's like they robbed Cam Newton's son of that. He ain't there for no 707. He's 8. I'm here to see my dad. Smitty, think about this. Just I know we going a little longer with this, but just say you played for UNC Charlotte. You played for them 49ers. and you didn't know this. Your little girls, they bigger now. They know. And you walk and they go, "Whoa, daddy, look, that's you." Not only is it gonna mean something to you, saying, "Dang, dude, that is me." Because no matter what, you want to know that what I gave this team, they appreciate. They don't appreciate Cam. They don't deserve him, and they need to do right by him. This is a player, man. I get it with coaches or whatever. The greatest Panther of all time. And I guarantee this: when Steve Smith and Julius Peppers and Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly and John Beeson and all these players, I guarantee they were saying, "Y'all ain't gonna invite Cam?" No, really? Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Go figure.
Yeah, well, Greg Olson, another great Panther, not drafted by the team, but played for them after playing for the Bears.
First ever 3 straight 1,000-yard season for a tight end before Travis Kelce came through and just, we get it.
Yeah. He went on. He used his platform and said, "Cam, name the time and place. I got you. We'll do it." Greg Olson is having a really good career in broadcasting right now, but yeah, he and Cam were tight in their time in Charlotte.
Oh, that was Cam's guy. You need a first down?
It was, yeah, they're tight. So, well, thanks for hashing that out a little bit and giving the fans a little bit of a travesty on this. But yes, the Panthers organization needs to get this right, and they need to get this right now. And so hopefully something was going to be done. We'll see something here in the offseason, kind of once the season dies down and get this all kind of squared out and squared together. Well, let's get into week 11 but before we go there specifically, just give me your overall themes or takeaways. We'll break down the games, but just anything overall that kind of stood out to you as a whole.
Ooh. A lot of things stood out, but the main thing that stood out to me was, if you thought Kansas City was dangerous when they was undefeated, watch how dangerous they are now that they done lost. Now that they don't have to worry about that no more undefeated, they're going to be dangerous. And here's the thing: the best team in the NFL is the Lions. The best team in the NFL is the Lions. You don't got to like it. They are the best team in the NFL. You know who I think is the second best team in the NFL? I don't think it's Kansas City. I think it's Pittsburgh. You better start watching out for Pittsburgh, because why? Pittsburgh, since Mike Tomlin has been there, has never had a losing season. Their defense is lights out. George Pickens is a top 10, maybe even top 5 receiver. Russell Wilson, since he's come under center, has made that whole team be more balanced. And I think you need to watch out for them. And here's what really stood out. In a 3-week span, Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers got a coach fired. Now they got a quarterback benched. I'm just telling you, how do you get benched on your day off, on your week off? Think about that. Not only did I get a lot of time to think about it, Daniel, what? We need to talk to you. Why? This ain't working. So what I'm telling you is, stop playing with Carolina, because they've already got a head coach fired within the division. Now they got a franchise quarterback demoted. But shout out to them Panthers, man. Find a way to get it done. It ain't Bryce Young's fault. But yeah, that's what really. And like I said, we'll get into the games. But Detroit, them Steelers, Bryce Young, and them Panthers. Hey man, crazy stuff going on.
Yep. Well, we'll just kind of go in game by game here, but we'll get just quick thoughts on each game. We'll kind of go game by game. The Green Bay Packers took down the Chicago Bears. Let's start with that one, 20-19, where the blocked field goal by the Green Bay Packers. They have now won 11 straight against the Bears. But really, Ben, I thought the streak was going to be snapped. I mean, it was just an absolute Carl Brooks comes to the line and just gets that paw on it. And the Bears have said, well, we're going to send this to the league anyway because we think our long snapper got jumped on. And so they're sending it to the league to get evaluated. But and Caleb Williams, let's shout out to him. He played very well. Thomas Brown, who led the Panthers last year after Frank Reich was fired as offensive coordinator for a little bit of time, called a really good game for the Chicago Bears, even in defeat. Jordan Love, though, my stat from this game for you, he has been intercepted in all 8 games he has played in 2024. So Jordan Love not his best game, but they were able to get the win 20-19.
Well, and that's a sign of a good team when my quarterback don't have to have his best game and we rally around him and still Coach Eberflus is the head coach of Chicago. Like, what are you doing? Like, what's up with this time management? Like, clock management is really starting to get on my nerves. Like, what are you just letting the clock run? Coach, listen, you haven't beat this team. Not that you had everything to do. You haven't won since 2018. And when they blocked it, look, the difference is Green Bay said, look, man, if they beat us, but they got to beat us. Even if it come down to a kick, I like our chances. Look at Jordan Love on the sideline. Because here's the thing, Smitty. Is my game bad if we win? No. I didn't play good because I don't want to have a good game and lose. You don't want those. I'd rather have a subpar game and we still win. That's how you know the team effort. This goes 2 weeks in a row. Block kicks. Denver, Kansas City blocked Denver 2 weeks ago. And Green Bay blocks Chicago on Sunday. And if you are Chicago, if you are Caleb Williams, I need something to feel good about. Because if they keep losing, what they say about him grows, even if he's not the problem. It's easy to go back to the quarterback. So you need to build confidence. Because guess what? The class of that division right now is Detroit. But Minnesota's good. And so is Green Bay. Right? Chicago, I mean, and you got a lot of good players. Keenan Allen and, dudes and those guys, they made some plays yesterday. DeAndre Swift was looking good, but, Jacobs looked good over there. Jacobs looked good for Green Bay yesterday, but it's all for no. Because just imagine if you are Chicago said, this is going to be the year blocked. Just imagine you going to the exit. I mean, you know how you walk to the exit and you stop and just look at the kick? Hold on for a second, sweetie. Hold on. And you're a Chicago fan. Oh, block. Sweetie, come on, let's go. Let's try to beat this traffic. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to Green Bay, and that's the difference, Smitty. Good teams find a way to win. Bad teams will snatch the victory, boy.
Snatch the defeat from the jaws of victory. Yeah, exactly.
That's what happened yesterday.
Yeah. Well, in Motown, the Detroit Lions got a franchise best 645 yards as they trounced the Jaguars 52-6 as a good old butt whooping occurred in the Motown as it seems like the Jaguars are limping to the finish here in the Doug Peterson era there in Jacksonville. Amon-Ra St. Brown caught all 11 of his targets in that game, 161 yards.
Hold on. What was the score again?
52-6.
52-6. Dang. They beat the Titans 52-14.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. So they scored 104 points against two teams. Oh, I'm sorry. Whoa.
Yes, they did. You got that right.
Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions or something against Houston and still beat. So they really running through the AFC South. Good games or bad games, they still winning. Keep going though. Just keep going.
Yeah. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Detroit became the first team, ready for this, since the 2007 Patriots to score a touchdown in the first 7 drives of the game.
Detroit plays football.
In case you're remembering, audience, those 2007 Patriots made it to the Super Bowl.
Super duper. Detroit is playing football in a way that they don't leave no doubt. They don't. Once again, they have this Kansas City. We're not saying we can't be beat, but you're gonna have to beat.
Quote Herman Boone from Remember the Titans. Denzel, leave no doubt.
I mean, and it's beautiful to watch too. And here's the thing, right? Look, they're doing this without their best defensive player. Aiden Hutchinson is hurt, and they still giving up.
That's what makes it even more impressive.
It's crazy. Jared Goff is playing at an MVP level. I'm gonna say it again. He's playing at an MVP level, and I didn't think it could get no worse when I saw how bad they put on the Titans. If you are the Jaguars, Doug Peterson, I don't know if he's gonna make it through this year. You got way too much talent. I'm talking about, Trayvon Walker, Josh Allen, Travis Etienne, Evan Ingram. The list goes on and on and on and on. Brian lost. And the thing about the Jaguars, this goes back to last year. They don't look good at all. Like, they can't stop nobody. They can't move the football. Matt Jones went to Jacksonville for his career to die. It is not flourishing at all. And that's not his fault. The team ain't playing well, but yeah, shout out to them Detroit Lions, man. They're on a mission right now. Right now they're on a crash course to get to the Super Duper Bowl to play whoever going to represent the AFC, whether that be the Steelers, the Kansas City, Baltimore. We'll see.
Yeah. Down in South Beach, the Dolphins take down the Raiders 34-19 as they were hitting their stride there in Miami, rolling 5 out of their 7 drives were touchdowns on yesterday afternoon. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa with 288 yards passing, 3 touchdowns on the day. But our Florida man Kyle Pitts was passed by Brock Bowers, Georgia great, for the second most receiving yards in NFL history among tight ends in the first 10 games of their rookie season. So there's your stat there for this game.
Brock Bowers is a bright spot for the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, the Max Crosby going to still go out there and give you all he got. But I was happy for Tua to play a really, really sound game. Him and Tyreek Hill, they trying to get back into the flow of what they do. A-Chain and most of those guys kept going. Shout out to Jonnu Smith. Had a big game yesterday at tight end for Miami. The thing about the Raiders that's scary, they're really, really close to being, because it's hard for them to, yes, they're always going to be a storied franchise, but that's based off the past. That's not based off the present. If they don't find a way to start winning some games in a division that's they're not going to win because they're in the same division as Kansas City, the Chargers and the Broncos, it ain't even about saying the same old Raiders. It's just the Raiders. Like, they're not nationally relevant. They're only relevant because they're an NFL franchise. Antonio Pierce, I think, is still the coach for the future, but he's gonna have to start showing some promise. You traded away Devontae Adams. I mean, we'll get to the Jets here soon, and you don't have a quarterback. Like, you just don't, and you can't win consistently or at a high level without a quarterback. So yeah, they're gonna have to do better. But shout out to them Dolphins for getting a big win.
Yeah, and I think there could be as many as 8, 9, 10 head coach openings this year. We'll see.
We already got one. I think Doug Peterson.
Two.
I'm sorry.
We got 2.
Who we got?
Saleh and Dennis Allen.
I'm sorry. Saleh was so early. Yeah, we already got 2. I think it's definitely going to be some opening. I mean, Dallas, and when they're playing right now, that might and that'll be another show when we talk about firings and potential head coach firings. But I got to say this though, Smitty, even though when it comes to these firings, and I know a lot of these hot shot offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, who will want some of these jobs? Because I mean, sometimes you get to be a head coach on your resume, but I don't want to be a head coach just to stink up the joint. I'm just saying. I used to love Hugh Jackson, but Hugh Jackson won 1 game in 2 years.
No.
And he went from Oakland to Cleveland. Lord.
Yeah. And Brock Bowers, his 706 yards, that is now second all time. He's trailing only the Hall of Famer, the coach, Mike Ditka.
Okay. Very nice.
There you go. The Los Angeles Rams took down the New England Patriots in Foxborough 28-22. After a slow start, Matthew Stafford heated up 295 yards on 4 touchdown passes. But Drake May, though, has been a bright spot for New England. Shout out to Drake May, a run of 15 yards or longer in each of his first 6 NFL starts.
I was very, very impressed with Drake May. I mean, he's finding a way to be competitive on a very, very, talent-stricken, I guess I like to call the Patriots right now. They're going to play hard. I mean, Dry Mayo still trying to figure out what his, culture is going to be in New England. I mean, they still got some years to go when you talk about if they beating teams, it's because, they just out scheming them. They don't got the talent, top to bottom, really. But I mean, the Rams are always going to be exciting. I just see that division kind of, that division is really, really tough. I mean, when you talk about Arizona, when you talk about San Francisco, sometimes they want to play, sometimes they don't. But
yeah.
I mean, the Rams. I mean, like I said, Matthew Stafford is one of those players. We're not gonna truly appreciate how much he meant to the quarterback position until his playing days are up, but he can sling it. I mean, he really, really can. Puka, and you talk about DeMarcus Robinson, you start talking about, Cooper Kupp. Those guys find a way to go out there and be competitive, man. And like I say, I mean, it was a good win on Sunday, but I always love to see Matthew Stafford go out there and paint pitches, the way he was throwing the football.
Down in the Bayou, it was the Cleveland Browns getting run out of the building by the New Orleans Saints, 35-14. Former quarterback Jameis Winston could not pick up that revenge tour victory as Taysom Hill was that Swiss Army knife for the team once again. 138 rushing yards on 7 carries, 8 catches for 50 yards as well, marking the first time he's broken 100 yards rushing and 50 yards receiving in a game in his career. He even threw an interception as well on the day. But really, the story is Mr. Darren Rizzi, the interim head coach for the Saints. First interim Saints coach to win 2 games in a season, and the second coach in franchise history to win his first 2 games at the helm, joining Sean Payton, who started 3-0 in 2006.
I mean, because Rizzi, he's trying to make sure he potentially, I know they're going to go try to outsource to get a new head coach, but who knows? He could do a great Antonio Pierce type impersonation. He might end up being named the head coach. We'll see what happens at the end of the season. But Jameis Winston was, he was a Saint last year. Obviously, he got let go because I think the last play of the season when they called victory. He called a play for his teammate. Taysom Hill is one of the curious cases. Outside of maybe like a Cordell Stewart, I've never really seen anybody like Taysom Hill. I mean, he literally plays everything. He'll play quarterback. He'll play running back. He'll play tight end.
And the team knows it's coming, and he still does it.
Yeah, and here's the thing. As much as you say, man, how is he still doing it? He's very effective. I mean, 138 yards on 7 carries. Running backs don't do that. Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, they're not doing that. Then he's catching passes. Then he's out there contributing on special teams. Then he's blocking. I mean, I think Taysom Hill came into the NFL, like it's a timing thing. But Sean Payton said, look, I can get a lot out of this guy. I really, really can. And, he had an incredible day. I don't know how Taysom Hill is still as productive as he is. He's not even a young – people think Taysom Hill is like 25. Taysom Hill like 34, 35 years old. Still getting it done. Shout out to the 34, 35-year-olds, man. Them 90s babies. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But I just think that for Cleveland – as much as you thought that Deshaun Watson was a problem, no, it's Cleveland. It's Cleveland.
Yep.
And yesterday was bad. Grant Delpit, starting safety for the Cleveland Browns, was the starting safety for won the Troupe Award and was on that 2019 starting safety for that 2019 LSU Tigers team that won the national championship. He is from New Orleans. They said that he had so many tickets he had to rent out a suite. That's how many because he's from New Orleans. So that's a lot of people come see you lose. Like the dedication, but that's a lot of people. 50-something tickets to watch y'all get smashed like that. But hey, man, who knows next time you get to play at home. Shout out to you.
Yeah. Let's keep it moving. Lower scoring game than anticipated, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are 8-2 with an 18-16 victory over the Baltimore Ravens as Chris Boswell converted 6 field goals, 18 of their points. And Derrick Henry had a fumble, but he did have a touchdown like he has in every game this season. And Justin Tucker might be coming back to the mean as a kicker because he's been the best kicker for a long time in this league, but finally might be coming back to the league a little bit. But as I said about Boswell, he was the shine of the day for the Ravens, tying his career mark for the most field goals in a single game in his career. And the 6 makes are the most ever in a game at Acrisure Stadium and the most field goals made by a kicker playing in Pittsburgh since Gary Anderson in 1988.
The Steelers and the Ravens are the best rivalry in NFL right now because of how well these both teams play with each other. Lamar Jackson, with as much success as he has since he's been a starter in Baltimore, he just can't get over the Steelers. He just can't get past them. I know Patrick Queen, former Baltimore Raven, now Pittsburgh Steeler, was happy to get the win, but I gotta give a big shout out to Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin goes from Justin Fields, and then he moves over to Russell Wilson. People are like, oh man, how is this going to work? Russell Wilson has played really, really good football. He don't have to be special. He just can't be average. And I think he's in the middle right there. And he's taking care of the football. TJ Watt and company. Listen, Pittsburgh Steelers defense, they make life tough on you. They really, really do. I don't understand Baltimore for this reason. When Baltimore is good, they're real good. But they don't have an in-between. It's almost like they can't find an identity on defense. Marlon Humphrey had a big pick on Sunday in the end zone against Russell Wilson trying to improvise. George Pickens, like I said when the show first started, I think he's a top 10 receiver. The guy just makes highlight reel catches every freaking week. But I still think, Kansas City is definitely the best team in the AFC. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are right there at number 2. They are the class of the AFC right now. 8-2. Mike Tomlin's getting it done. He's getting it done the Pittsburgh way. Smash mouth defense. Running the ball efficiently to open up for the pass. And they 8-2. So if you right now, that AFC North, everybody thought it was going to be Baltimore. It's Pittsburgh. And everybody kept saying this, and it's true. They said, what is Pittsburgh missing? And they will say, a quarterback. Now they got 2 of them. Now, Justin Fields did come in the game to steal the win yesterday. I mean, he was running, and he kind of slid before he got to the first down. They still end up getting it. But shout out to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, man, 8-2, and dare I say, only getting better.
Let's go to Nashville, Ben. It was 5 sacks on Mr. Will Levis as the Minnesota Vikings take down the Tennessee Titans 23-13 behind Sam Darnold's 13 of 19 for 219 yards and a touchdown. But Justin Jefferson, 81 receiving yards in the win on Sunday, now has 6,811 career yards. That's 6,811 career yards, passing the great Torrey Holt for the most in NFL history in a player's first 5 years.
The Tennessee Titans, in my opinion, are in the lead for one of the worst, if not the worst team in the league. People talking about what? Worse than the Jets? Yep. Worse than the Giants? Yep. I mean, you mean – yep. Because there are no signs of growth. Like when I watch the Titans play, they're going to go back and forth with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph. Okay. You got Jeffrey Simmons on defense, right? You don't have no offensive identity. The Minnesota Vikings, Justin Jefferson, you held Justin Jefferson under 100 yards and no touchdowns, and you still get beat by 10 points. Because I just think that the thing about the Titans right now, the AFC South as a whole is not a media darling. But when you start looking at these bottom feeder teams, the Jaguars, the Titans, what do they have in common? No identity. None. They have no identity. Doug Peterson doesn't give an identity to the Jaguars, right? Coach Callahan don't give no identity, to the Titans. It's just hard to watch. But once again, the Titans are trying to do their best to not be the worst team in the league so that Shadur Sanders is going to have to go to Nashville and not New Jersey, a.k.a. the Giants. But The Titans, once again, same different Sunday, same result. The Titans got to find they got to find an identity, but I do know it's Coach Callahan's first year. Still got to play better than that.
Let's get to those New York Jets. It was Anthony Richardson, your former Gator, ending a 3-game losing streak for the Colts, 28-27 over the New York Jets with 2 touchdown passes on the day for Richardson. Colts became the 5th team in the Super Bowl era to have their first 11 games decided by 10 or fewer points, joining the 2020 Chargers, the 2016 Lions, the 2015 Ravens, and the 1994 Lions.
Great bounce back game for a guy like Anthony Richardson. I think the thing about him, it was never ever about his ability. It was about his play. You got to go out there and show it. You mentioned 20 or 30, 272 yards, 1 touchdown, but 10 rushes, 32 yards, 2 touchdowns. They accounted for 3 touchdowns, and he was efficient with the football, didn't turn the football over. And I think the thing about the Colts are, they're still in the hunt, right? It's going to be a fight to the finish. We talking about them. And when I say in the hunt, I'm talking about winning the division between them and the Texans. No one's talking about the Titans. The Titans and the Jags are a race to the bottom, a.k.a. the top of the draft. But the curious case of, Aaron Rodgers and this offense, Jared Wilson, and you start talking about Breece Hall, you start talking about Devontae Adams. The Jets, to me, got the same problem as like a Cleveland, as like a Titans, as like a Jaguars. You think big name ability is going to be enough to win games, and it's not. It's not. And Smitty, I'm going to keep saying this. I don't drink. I don't do none of that. And I'm not here to come at people who do. But were all these football analysts before the season drunk? Because everybody kept saying this Super Bowl caliber team for the Jets. Based off of what? Aaron Rodgers is what? I mean, Smitty, you saw it. Smitty, you looking at you trying to get some info on your Panthers, and all of a sudden, hey man, Devontae Adams going to the Jets. Okay. That put them over the top. Over the top of what? The Jets? I mean, I'm like, am I wrong? I'm not.
No, you're not.
I'm not. But for me,
even Sauce Gardner is having a down year for him.
Yeah, I'm like, the Jets. What would the Jets know about being efficient? I mean, what would the Jets know about being efficient and winning games consistently? Anyway,
yeah.
Great job by the Colts by getting, Anthony, like I said, Anthony Richardson being benched and him kind of seeing what not to do. We know what you can do. This is what not to do. Don't turn the football over. Don't get tired or admit you're tired or come out the game because you're tired. And it was a back and forth affair, but shout out to the Colts for getting the big win. And if you're a Jets fan, like I say, different Sunday, same result. A lot of big names for no reason. A bunch of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And I think Aaron Rodgers already confirmed he's going to come back for 2025. Why? I don't know. But he is Aaron Rodgers. Who's going to stop him?
Let's get through these last four pretty quickly. Denver Broncos take down the Atlanta Falcons. Your Atlanta Falcons. Nope. Okay. Well,
no. I'm just saying. Really? All I'm saying is really.
Yep. Bo Nix making a run as his offensive player of the year, potentially first rookie in NFL history to have a game of 80% completions for 4 more passing touchdowns and 300 and more passing yards. 38-6, Denver.
Did what he wanted to do, when he wanted to do it, sat in the pocket, made a cup of coffee, told the person at Starbucks, this ain't the right temperature. They went
and we saw Michael Penix.
Listen. Kirk Cousins is starting to get on my nerves because I don't know who's going to show up week in and week out. If he goes up against this is the same guy that threw for over 9 touchdowns against Tampa Bay already. I don't know what it is when they play outside. They also lost to the freaking head coachless Saints last week. I don't know what's going on with the fuck went out, but they better get it together, man, because they're gonna find themselves, being in a dogfight with the Tampa Bay Bucks when it didn't have to be that. But we'll see. But listen, shout out to Denver and Bo Nix and company. They did what they wanted to the whole team. Offense, no production. Defense couldn't stop nobody. I don't know what happened. The debates and Simmons yesterday. I don't know, but
he forgot he played for the Falcons. I mean, he's still on the Broncos.
Yeah. I said, listen, you got on black and red, not orange and blue, but he must have got confused.
Yeah. It is not a slobber knocker in the NFC West as the Seahawks take down the 49ers 20-17. As they are both teams now 5-5 on the year. Geno Smith, 25-32, 221 yards. Yes, he had the interception, but he had a rushing touchdown to win the game, his 7th since 2023 of game-winning drives, the most in the NFL. Sunday's win marked his first victory over San Francisco since joining Seattle.
Geno Smith, great game because he called his own number. You know what San Francisco was lacking yesterday? George Kittle. And they needed him
in the waning moments of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I think Geno Smith, I was happy for him. He did the whole night. Y'all can go to sleep. Brock Purdy, people, y'all waiting on Brock Purdy to be an MVP candidate. He's not. He's a good quarterback. He's a good player. But when you got, C-Mac, Debo, and those guys around him, and you start talking about Warner and those guys. I think the defense for 49ers got a lot of big names. They ain't playing like it. Now, Fred Warner is still one of the best linebackers, if not the best linebacker in football. Bosa will make a play here or there. But outside of, making viral political moments, you ain't seeing much from Bosa. You just haven't. And I don't know why that is, but Bosa had a big run stop, but you give up the game-winning touchdown pass or on Geno for the winner, the walk-off, and Kyle Shanahan face just said it. I don't know how old Kyle Shanahan is, but he is aging bad. He is aging right in front of our eyes. And no,
I'll look that up for you. Hold on. Let me look that up.
I think he might be like 44. I think he's on like 44.
I think it's like 48, 49. Hold on. No, you're right. 44. You're right. 44.
So I mean, but what I'm saying is, you don't lose that game, but you did lose. So Coach McDonald, good job, Coach Shanahan. Once again, they underachieving. Listen, injuries or not, they underachieving, and they trying. Remember what we said about C-Mac? They trying to force it. It's gonna come, but he's missed a lot of football. So if you expect C-Mac to look like 2023, that's not gonna happen. You can try to force feed him all you want.
Yep. Well, speaking of not C-Mac, but a guy we talked about earlier, Cam Newton, Josh Allen did his first his personal Cam Newton impression as they took down the Kansas City Chiefs 30-21. Josh Allen facing a 4th and 2 from the Chiefs' 26-yard line. Sean McDermott said, "The heck with the field goal to go up 5 points. Josh Allen is going to win us this game." He rumbled in from 26 yards out to put the Bills up 2 scores, give the Chiefs absolutely no chance. Bills score 30-plus points for their 5th consecutive game, marking the longest streak in the NFL. And the Chiefs are no more on the loss, no more undefeated.
I want to give you a stat that I know you didn't know, but I'm in the regular season. Josh Allen, right? He has 2,543 rushing yards in his career. And I think the thing about Josh Allen, Smitty, we always talk about these mobile quarterbacks. You're gonna go to Jalen Hurts, you're gonna go to Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Josh Allen. And we said this. There are only certain quarterbacks that meet the talent threshold that's good enough to beat Patrick Mahomes. We said Josh Allen was one of them. Well, he got it done. Now, I had the Bills, winning that game, but I think sometimes Josh Allen we have to remember. Coach McDermott said, "Look, you know what I got in my disposal? What? I got a Josh Allen. You got one of those? No. Well, I'm gonna show you what I got." And that's a confidence builder, because I think if you Buffalo, you hoping to see this matchup again. I don't know if it's gonna be in Buffalo, but Buffalo don't have the Miami Dolphins problem. They can play in the cold. They live in the freaking cold. They up there in Buffalo. I don't know what gets cold to Buffalo or Kansas City, but great job by Buffalo as a team. Because while Kansas City gonna say things like they can learn from it, who hasn't been playing well all season? Patrick Mahomes. Like, he has not looked like himself. And because you're winning, no one really talks about it because they're winning. Patrick Mahomes is looking very, very, very regular. But I get the 8-1. I think now that they've lost, they're gonna regroup. But Patrick Mahomes hasn't looked himself since game 1. Problem is they won all 8 games. They was in until on Sunday. But Kansas City will regroup. But right now, that's not the Bills' problem. The Bills will take the win, giving Kansas City their first loss of the season. Probably should have had losses back-to-back weeks. But like I said, Denver forgot to bring their field goal team.
No. They are 9-1. I just checked. They're
9-1. My fault. 9-1.
And expected to get Isaiah Pacheco back against my Panthers next week. Go figure. But that'll certainly help them. And then you got the Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday Night Football closing it out, take down the Cincinnati Bengals led by Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Herbert and the Chargers do not charger. They won the game, though Evan McPherson, former Florida kicker, missed 2 field goals to give them all the chance in the world to pull this out. And they did not, as the Chargers kept on going, and they win 34-27. But it was Jamar Chase. He had a 4-yard touchdown reception in the third quarter, his 40th of his career, making him the 3rd player in NFL history with 40 or more receiving touchdowns before the age of 25. He joins Rob Gronkowski and Randy Moss in that category.
Well, number one, Cincinnati, you had a shot to get this man what he wanted. And now that price is going to be through the roof. T. Higgins was able to come back off an injury yesterday. Had a big game, had a monster game. Came out the game after getting hit by Denzel Perryman in the first quarter. Getting kind of shaking up a little bit. It was a tale of 2 halves. It really, really was. I mean, the Chargers had their way in the first half, couldn't cover them tight ends, down the seam. Everybody kept talking about Harbaugh was going to win the Super Bowl within his first 3 years. It's a Charger. Stop playing. I mean, they're not winners. Anyway, the Chargers defense are ranked second in the league. Second in defense. Didn't look like it second half. I think that Joe Burrow is the type of guy that he seems to play better in adverse situation. When you're talking about McPherson, kind of let him down, definitely let him down, and ended up being a very, very good game. The Chargers found a way to squeak a victory out yesterday, but it was a tale of two halves. I mean, Chargers had the first half, Cincinnati dominated the second half, but the Chargers come out with a big win, but very, very exciting football.
Really quick, not to lose track from the game that was already a few days prior. Did you have anything from the Eagles' 26-18 win? Saquon Barkley, 2 touchdowns on Thursday Night Football last week.
It's very, very simple. It's very, very simple if you play the Eagles. I got a Ferrari in the garage. It has Saquon on it. Yeah, you drive it. You drive it as much as it go. Fill it up with that octane. Let's go. Saquon Barkley what Saquon Barkley means to Philadelphia offense is what Derrick Henry is supposed to mean to the Baltimore Ravens offense. The difference is Baltimore wants to validate Lamar Jackson being another MVP candidate, and Saquon is out there saying, "Look, man, I'll get you there." So shout out to them Eagles. And listen, Jaden Daniels, nothing to feel bad about. I just think the class of the NFC East is the Eagles right now.
Okay. All right. Well, I know I started the show a little bit differently. We went through the games very quickly, trying to get kind of an instant reaction to everything our top notices. But let's go now through what we do every week before we get to our overreactions, and we'll preview next week. Let's get to our players and not so players of the week now that the audience has kind of hit a little bit of our analysis. So I'll go first. Our players and not so players of the week. And eventually, folks, we're going to get a sponsor. We'll get there, presented by somebody, presented by nobody at this moment, but we'll get there with those sponsors. I'm going to go. So I'm going to go with the man that we just talked about. It was Saquon Barkley for me. He was my co-player of the week. He just took the soul away from the Commanders when they needed it most in the second half, opened up a tight game, and made the score not indicative of the game. But he essentially took it upon themselves to give the Eagles that victory on Thursday Night Football, give them a mini bye week coming off a win. And Saquon Barkley, those 2 touchdowns at the end of the game really showed out for me. And then my co-player of the week with him is Jared Goff. I mean, how could you not? 412 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 158-yard passing rating in the 52-6 win for the Detroit Lions. And then my not-so-player of the week is just the team of the New York Jets. I mean, good Lord. I mean, what are they doing at this point, Ben? I mean, the Jets are just jetting. They're awful. They start awful. They end awful. And in between is just awful. So the fans, if you, as we say here in the Carolinas, if the New York Jets want to go to the farmer's market during the game, they'll certainly, I think, enjoy that much better than watching their current team play football right now.
Whoa, man. Well, listen, I mean, I'm kind of loaded this week. I mean, my players of the week, I went all quarterback. Geno Smith, game-winning touchdown run. Anthony Richardson, nice bounce back. Bo Nix, carved up. My faculty, whatever you want. And Josh Allen. Hey, man, I'm Mr. Do It All, too, if you give me a chance to do it all. And, all those guys got wins. My not player of the week, Daniel Jones. He ain't play. Daniel Jones got benched on his day off. Daniel Jones was like, hey, man, I know I ain't been playing well or whatever, but no, Daniel, this goes back to Hard Knocks, man. They ain't even want you to be – they only kept you because of the money, not because of your play. And they picked and they chose you over Saquon. My not player is Daniel Jones. But I got not teams and groups. Entire Falcons team. Just whole team. Entire Jaguars team. I mean, what are you doing? Bears field goal team. And 49ers defense. Like, have some awareness. You got a mobile quarterback, and you're going to go man-to-man with your back turned to Geno, and he got end zone, and he hit you with the 99. So, 49ers defense, Daniel Jones got fired on your day off. Bears field goal team, entire Jags team, entire Falcons team. And like I said, when it comes to these quarterbacks, man, you got you a good one. You got a shot to win some games. So shout out to Geno Smith, Anthony Richardson, Bo Nix, Josh Allen, and obviously I forgot Jared Goff, who's probably an MVP front runner at this point.
Yeah, well, we'll see on that. Josh Allen's going to have something to say about it, I think, based on that last game. And so we'll see what happens there. And speaking of that, we'll get there in just a second. But let's go into our transactions around the league, and just we can overreact if we to certain things. You can't make this up, Ben. A piece of metal fell hours before the Texans Cowboys game in AT&T Stadium. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. So that is from Dallas. As you said, Giants demote Daniel Jones to quarterback 3, no longer starting. Doug Peterson blames everything on himself as the Jaguars' woes continue. Ex-Pats wide receiver Mr. Tyquan Thornton is signing with the Kansas City Chiefs practice squad. The rich get richer, if you will. The Ravens, despite Justin Tucker's couple misses, have not lost confidence in him. They say they are sticking with him because why not? He's one of the greatest kickers ever. And then finally, my boy Bryce Young playing versus the Kansas City Chiefs this week. He is going to be QB1. And Jonathan Brooks, University of Texas running back, set to debut for the Carolina Panthers, sharing the backfield with Chuba Hubbard. So those are some of the transactions around the league. Anything you want to react to there?
Really looking forward to seeing Brooks and Hubbard backfield to go along with Bryce Young. Kind of go back to the days of Stewart and Williams. Not the same, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with those guys. Doug Peterson should blame it on himself. You the head coach. They brought you in to shore up his team. Since you've been there, nothing. I mean, like nothing to go off of. And I know it was awful in the Urban Meyer era, but it's even worse now. You guys are not winning games. Justin Tucker has earned, the benefit of the doubt. He is Justin Tucker. He hasn't been himself as of late, but I saw that they came out and said they still got all the faith in the world in him. And I don't know if it's a transaction, but you did say Pacheco might be back for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think you said it earlier in the week. I mean, but no, man, I just think that some of these transactions are warranted. These kickers, man, it's been rough. It's been a rough year for kickers. No matter who you are, Justin Tucker used to be 60. 65, it don't matter. He hasn't been clutch, but he will get. I think kickers is all in the head. He'll get back to it. But but the law offices of Brooks and Hubbard, I want to see it in that Carolina backfield. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. This transaction I wanted to say separately from those because it deserves its own transaction. Jamar Chase, after last night's loss, had this to say: "I play football on the field. I don't call plays for us, I can't really do nothing." That was Jamar Chase after the game. And then keeping going on McPherson, he said, just got to make – or hold on. I don't want to misquote him here. About Evan McPherson, he said, "I don't know why we're not finishing. He gets paid to make those kicks, and he needs to make them."
This Jamar Chase saying all this.
Yes.
I mean, listen. Jamar Chase is a super duper star, top 3 receiver in the National Football League. But I will say this to Jamar Chase, the same way I would say to Anthony Rich. Here's my advice to Jamar: you don't got to answer everything. Like sometimes you could just go, "Look, man, we ain't got it done. We're gonna go back to the drawing board and keep getting it done." Don't say things like, "I play football. I don't call the plays," because you're throwing shade at your offensive coordinator, who just happens to be your head coach. You're throwing shade at your kicker, right? You've been in the NFL long enough to know I don't got to take the bait questions. "Hey, Jamar, man, how you feel about the play calling?" I mean, I like our play calling. We just got to go out there and execute. I mean, things happen because you still getting the rock. They still feeding you. And as far as McPherson, I mean, he's a big time kicker, man. Even the best go through struggles. I know that McPherson he'll get back to it. I have no because, and I get it. It's easy for me to say here, sitting here in the comfort of my home, just talking to you, Smitty, on winning the division. Either you lose, either you in the division or just win the division. Nice plug. But part of being a pro is what you say. Like that's the part I had to understand. There is no such thing as a hard question if I give professional answers. It don't matter what they ask. And for Jamar Chase, he's gonna get the benefit because of how he plays. So they're gonna let him say whatever. Because he the truth. But at a certain point, man, all right, we ain't get it done. And don't say nothing about your kicker. Because guess what? Yeah. Out of all these players in the league, ain't but one kicker. Because if the kicker get hurt, here come the punter. And if the punter get hurt, here come the kicker. And God forbid the long snapper get hurt. All hell finna break loose. So, Jamar, we get it. We understand. You finna sign. Y'all the Bengals, man. And I know y'all went to that Super Bowl. I think they went his first year. Yeah, that was his first year. His rookie year, they went to the Super Bowl. That's not reality. That was your reality. And then you just came off of, no. That was 2020. He 2019, he didn't play, and then 2020 he didn't play, then he got drafted. But anyway, just start talking trash, man. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Oh. Well, I was gonna do this week, but I think I'm gonna wait until next week to get one more kind of week under us. If we want to do, I'll leave it up to you. We can talk about this offline. If you want to do like a, we initially predicted our coach of the year, rookies of the year, all of that. I'll wait till next week to do that. Let's we can maybe do a mulligan on those next week, or kind of a mid-season check-in. We'll do that next week. As usual, before we get to our preview, our top 5 games for week number 12 coming up, Ben, I'm just going to shoot you straight like I always do. Let me give you some overreactions that are from me this time. That I'm just thinking. These are my just what I'm on top of my head. No notes here. And you can just, as a player, you can tell me if I'm crazy or if I'm not crazy. Overreaction or it's proper reaction. Well, the Indianapolis, and I'll make these quick. I got about 4 of them. The Colts leading the NFC South would be leading the NFC South if they'd never benched him.
AFC South.
Yeah. The Colts would be they'd be leading the AFC South right now if they'd never benched Anthony Richardson.
No. No, I don't think they will be leading, because I'm not gonna let one game make me look past every other game I saw him in. So would they might I think the benching is why they're going to get a chance to potentially win the AFC South, because I think Anthony Richardson understands what they need from him. But no, I do not think they will be leading the AFC South had they not benched. I think they will still probably be in a worse position than they are now.
Is Bo Nix going to win Rookie of the Year? Is he going to do it? Is Jaden going to fade down the stretch and Bo Nix is going to do it? Is he really going to do it?
Wow. I think Bo Nix is coming. I really do. I think these last 2 or 3 weeks he's put the NFL, Jaden Daniels, and even Brock Bowers on notice. Hey, dude, I'm playing good football. Regardless of what our team is doing record-wise, I'm playing much better. So, yes, I do think Jaden Daniels, because, one game is not going to decide. And Jaden Daniels went up against Philly. Jaden Daniels he gonna sprinkle some of that Jaden Daniels dust, and we'll be right back on the bandwagon. But Bo Nix is coming.
The 49ers are going to miss the playoffs. This team is not looking good. They're not looking good.
I agree. Yes, they're going to miss the playoffs. I think I did not give Christian McCaffrey not being in the lineup more attention than I should have, because I don't think he's going to have the season he had in 2023, but that's a lot of attention he gets on him. A lot. He gets attention on him like a Justin Jefferson, like a Jamar Chase, like that caliber of a player, which opens it up for Debo, Pearsall, So, yeah, they're not going to make it, because at the end of the day, like I just said, where's Joey Bosa? I'm sorry, Joey. Where's Nick Bosa? And company on defense. So, I'm going to say, yes, they're going to miss the playoffs, which is going to make Kyle which I know we're going to talk about another show, those job openings, or it might be a job opening in Santa Clara. Just keep watching.
The AFC Championship game is going to be the Buffalo Bills versus somebody not named the Ravens or the Chiefs.
Woo!
Based on the way the Buffalo.
You know what? I agree with that.
Buffalo and Steelers. Let's go.
I will say, I agree with that, because I think sometimes we give so much credit to Andy Reid, as we should. We give so much credit to Harbaugh, as we should. Mike Tomlin might be the best coach in football. And I know people go, how you going to say that? The best coach don't mean you're going to win the Super Bowl, right? That don't mean you're going to win the Super Bowl. Mike Tomlin can coach. This dude knows what he's doing. So I agree with that. Buffalo, yes. And if and not Steelers, not Baltimore, I can see it being Buffalo Steelers, man. And listen, and let's go. Let's see what happens. Let's buckle up.
All right. This is my most controversial and my fifth one. I was gonna do four. I wasn't gonna say this one because it's pretty spicy. Carson Palmer, Boomer Esiason, Joe Burrow, all quarterbacks of the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow doesn't want to end up like Andrew Luck. He doesn't. Is he going to just go with Mike Brown and say, Mike, I've enjoyed playing for you, hometown Ohio kid, but if you're not going to do right by me, you need to trade me. I'm out of here.
Woo! That look now. Because Joe Burrow
just the way he walked off the field yesterday,
I will say this.
So dejected.
I will
he hasn't getting the crap beat out of him.
Yeah, I will say this. I don't think Joe Burrow is gonna say something like that, but I do think he's gonna say something. Like I don't think he's gonna say trade me, Smitty. Because shoot, teams would be backing their trucks up to get Joe. What? Joe Burrow will get 3 first-round picks. Anyway, that'll be crazy what they'll ask for him. But is he going to say something? Yeah, because Joe Burrow's rookie season ended. Why? Offensive line play. Joe Burrow be running for his freaking life. Thank God he got T. Higgins and, Gesicki and Jamar Chase. But I do think something got to give because what happened to Joe Burrow was national championship in 2019, didn't do well my rookie year. Give me Jamar Chase, we go to the Super Bowl. Hasn't been really much to talk about since. I get hurt again, right? So I was sandwiched in between 2 seasons where I had to, season-ending surgeries. So they're gonna have to decide, is protecting their franchise worth it? Because Cincinnati defense is bad. Like they hard to watch. Just watch how bad Hendrickson and all them boys are going crazy on the sideline. I don't think he's gonna ask for a trade, Smitty, but he's gonna say something because he's too great of a player and a talent to be wasting it because you ain't addressing the things that need to be addressed. Here's gonna be the biggest thing. How do you keep both? How do you keep T. Higgins, who's on a franchise deal this year? You're gonna have to sign T. Higgins and Jamar Chase in the offseason.
I don't think they will. I don't think they're gonna keep him personally. I'm hoping the Panthers go after him in the offseason. Bring him to Charlotte, wide receiver 1.
Back. Let's do it.
Let's go. All right, let's go to week 12. Top 5 games to watch. Week number 12 to close out episode 13 of Winning the Division. I will go ahead and get us started. My toilet bowl of the week is Thursday Night Football because I think the Browns are going to get smoked by the Steelers. Mike Tomlin's going to go his way to 9-2. The Browns, even though it's in Cleveland, don't matter. Browns are going to get smoked on Thursday Night Football. Sorry, Jameis. Love you. Sorry. The Steelers are going to roll over you in my toilet bowl of the week. Top 5. Number 5. The Carolina Panthers hosting the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 9-1 on the year. Now, the point spread in this game is 11. Do I think the Panthers are going to win this game? No. Do I think it will be close? You betcha I will. I will take the Panthers, if you were into that sort of thing, to lay the number. The Panthers only will keep this close. I think this is going to come down to the last possession of the game. I really, really believe that. Now, did I say the Panthers are going to win? No, I don't think they will. But will I be ecstatic if they do? Oh, Ben, I don't think you're ready for what's going to happen if we beat Kansas City next week. Do I think it's going to happen? No, I don't. But do I think it could? In an alternate universe, it might.
No, Smitty. You know what I hear you saying? I hear you saying this. Dear God, I know you don't care about who wins. But, since you don't care, just let it be the Panthers. I mean, here it is. Just give me this one. Just give me this one. Do it for
Brian. Yeah. Okay. All right. Number 4. Cardinals, Seahawks down or not down, up in the Pacific Northwest. Geno Smith trying to get over 500, and the Cardinals coming off their bye week, trying to stay in first place in the NFC West. Cardinals, Seahawks, good divisional battle in the NFC West. Number 3, Ravens, Chargers, Monday Night Football. 7-4 Ravens, 7-3 Chargers. Good game between the Harbaugh brothers, the bowl of the Harbaugh brothers, John and Jim, facing off on Monday Night Football. Number 2, Packers, 49ers in Lambeau, as the Niners try to prevent themselves from going under 500 in this season. Packers coming off that close W against the Chicago Bears, trying to get to 8-3 on the season. Jordan Love and company, I think, are going to perform well. I do like the Packers' chances in this game. And the number 1 is Sunday Night Football, Eagles, Rams. The Rams are better than their record indicates. 8-2 Eagles, 5-5 Rams. Matthew Stafford's going to have something to say at SoFi Stadium against Jalen Hurts, who is also going to have something to say with Saquon Barkley leading the way for the Philadelphia Eagles. That is going to be a very good game, and I'm looking forward to that one a lot. So personally, I will be at the Chiefs-Panthers game, so I will be very glad that this is the Sunday night game. I'll be home in time to watch this game, so that way I don't miss 1 second of the action.
I like that. My total ball game is Bucks and Giants. Why? Because the Giants going to have a quarterback that, hasn't played football, in the Giants team that was bad with Daniel Jones. What do you think they're going to be without Daniel Jones? That's going to be my toilet bowl game. I'm going to go 5-1 as well. My number 5 is the Cardinals and the Seahawks. I like the way Seahawks had a big win against the 49ers. I like the way Kyler Murray has been playing this season. He's a player that nobody's really wanting to talk about, but has been playing really, really well. Got something nice going on with him and Marvin Harrison Jr. My number 4, Lions Colts. Here's the thing about the Colts, right? The Colts going to have to show that the AFC South is going to try to be halfway decent this year against the NFC. NFC North. Good Lord. Anthony Richardson, please stand up. It doesn't mean they're going to get a win, but they haven't even been competitive. Houston had a shot to beat them, and they threw 5 picks, still beat them. And they scored 104 combined points against the freaking Jags and the Titans. That is ridiculous. So, Anthony Richardson, you're up next. My number 3, Panthers Chiefs. Let me tell you something, people. Winning creates a lot of confidence, right? And if you are the Panthers, they're going to start saying this. They're playing with house money, even though they gave Chuba, his money. They gave Derek Brown his money, but Derek Brown is hurt right now. If you are the Panthers, hey, baby, let's go play loose. Now, I don't know who's going to block Chris Jones. They don't make people.
Robert Hunt is going to block him.
I'm sorry. Robert Hunt gonna block him. Smitty said, "Man, we ain't scared of him." But I like my number 2. Listen, with you, Eagles Rams. Hey, Matthew Stafford puts pressure on secondaries. I want to see the receivers of the Rams versus the secondary of the Eagles. Right? I really want to look. I'm looking forward to that matchup. Right? And my number 1 is Ravens Chargers. The Harbaugh Bowl. The last time the Harbaugh brothers met each other in the regular season. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. Which is it? Which one is it? John Harbaugh? Which one is the head coach of the Ravens?
John
Harbaugh has beat his brother Jim both times. Beat him in the regular season when it was both Baltimore versus San Francisco. Beat him in the Super Bowl when it was Baltimore versus San Francisco. Jim Harbaugh is back in the AFC, back on the West Coast, Southern California this time. But Ravens Chargers, man, let's see that Ravens offense versus the number 2 Chargers defense. You're talking about Derwin James. You're talking about Joey Bosa and company versus Derrick Henry. You talking about Isaiah Likely, Zay Flowers, and 2-time regular season MVP Lamar Jackson. But yeah, I'm looking forward to all these games. But I'm not down playing Panthers Chiefs. People say, why would the Chiefs get a Sunday night game? Watch. And guess what? I hope Cam Newton in the building, and they had to put the camera on him. And when he put the camera on him, he put the camera. He like this. He doing his little one pinky, one finger, one thumb, whatever he does. One love. It ain't one love going on with with the Panthers organization and Cam, but that's another show for another day. But hey, Panthers ownership, stop playing. What are we doing? Like, what are we saying? Really?
Real quick. I know we've run a little long. Before we get out of here, Ben, I'm just going to put it out there. Okay. All right. Here we go. As a former player and someone who knows how the league thinks and how coaches and players think, as a Panthers fan, I'm going to be at the game, as I said, Panthers-Chiefs in Charlotte on Sunday. If the Panthers were to pull the upset, if this were to happen, if whatever the score is, by one or by a lot, I don't obviously expect it to happen. But if it happened, what do the Panthers have to do? Hold on. But specifically, what does Bryce Young have to do for the league and the pundits and the commentary not to be, oh, well, it's the Panthers. The Chiefs just lost this game. They got lucky because they do this every year. They lose one game they shouldn't lose to. No. The Panthers. Oh, wow. Oh, my. Wow. That was impressive. That's what I want to hear from the Panther if they pull this upset. What do the Panthers have to do to get that kind of reaction?
Number one, the Panthers got to establish a run with Chuba Hubbard. They got to stay ahead of the chains. They got to make sure that they are calling plays that are aggressive, right, but not risky when it comes to a Bryce Young. Because you know what it is, Smitty, right? See, when Bryce Young is losing, oh, he's the worst number one overall pick. Oh, he's the bust. When he started winning and coaches start getting fired and franchise quarterbacks start getting benched, you get crickets. Oh, so you don't want to give him no praise when he wins, but you definitely want to pile on him when he loses. And another reason, listen, force Patrick Mahomes to keep looking how he's been looking. Anything but like Patrick Mahomes. Don't let him pull his cape off. And I think that if the Panthers find ways to be aggressive, but not costly, because you got to be aggressive. I don't want no conservative stuff. Don't give me that. And I think you got good a shot as any. Because like I said, Kansas City is the better team on paper. So, you know what I'm saying? So, and put Bryce Young in a position to show off what he does. Don't have him making a bunch of plays outside, like a bunch of scramblers to tell him, hey man, be careful now. Because they're gonna try to light your behind up. But I don't think you got to do anything more than you've been doing. The one thing that breeds confidence is winning. The one thing that breeds more confidence is winning consistently. They on a win streak, right? They 2-0 in the last 2 weeks. They're coming off a bye. Let's see what works. And introduce Mr. Brooks to the world. What are we saying? I got Brooks. I got Chuba. I got Xavier. I got Bryce.
And then former Vikings defensive end DJ Wanham opposite Danielle Hunter last year. Now
look. And listen, play loose, because when you are a Panthers team, we ain't trying to silence the doubters, man. We trying to turn up the volume on the believers, baby. I got just as many believers as I got doubters. Bump the doubters. Because guess what? The greatest thing ever told to me, and one of the many great things, they said, Troupe, do you know the haters and the supporters in the same stands? They both bought tickets. What? They both up there. Some of them just happen to be in the booth. And it's cool. But if you're a Bryce Young, look, man, y'all waiting to be the Boo Birds anyway. Y'all waiting to say, I'm not this and I'm not that. What if I stare Kansas City Chiefs, back-to-back Super Bowl champion trying to go for the 3-peat in the face and I get that dub? Don't say it's a letdown because they just lost. No. We beat them down. So I think they got good a shot as any. Shout out to them Panthers. Do it for the rest of the league, not just for yourself. I think they got Bryce Young, man. Go out there and put it on display, man. But be careful because his name is Chris Jones, and he's a big man, and he can wreck an entire offense.
Yes, he can. That'll be a good place to end it here on Winning the Division, episode number 13. You can rate, review, you can subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Please let us know how we're doing. Love to hear the comments and questions you guys have for us. Want to continue to get better, serve you guys well. And if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't missed an episode, continue to do so. And this is a tease, as they say in the radio business. We've got back-to-back guests the next 3 weeks. So stay tuned for some hot hitters coming out the next 3 weeks. And like I said, we'll be hopefully bringing out some sponsorships with you pretty soon as your boys start getting bigger here in the podcasting space. But for now, you're either winning the division or you're just in the division. This is Winning the Division with Ryan Smith and Ben Troupe. We'll see you next time.